Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a pretty radical idea, rebuilding Thailand's traffic police from the ground up. It's a plan that's all about modernizing the force, but maybe more importantly, it's about trying to fix its relationship with the public. So let's get right into it. Right at the heart of all this is one simple but really critical problem. Our source for this, siamdriver.org, lays it out pretty clearly. There's a big disconnect. Police are running into issues with how they do their jobs and with how the public sees them. So before we can even talk about the solution, this idea for a brand new school for traffic police, we've got to unpack what's wrong in the first place. And it all starts with a system that seems to be, well, stuck in the past. And no, that's not a typo. The source material makes this pretty shocking claim that the knowledge, the training, the whole educational foundation for traffic police is caught in a time warp. It's basically been the same for 3 decades. And this is where you can really see the problem, right? Our world is all about AI, technology changing in the blink of an eye, and what the public expects from services has totally shifted. But the tools and the training that officers are getting, they're just not keeping up. And it's that gap that's really causing the system to break down. Okay, so let's dig into that a little deeper. The source material actually points to 4 specific core failures that are holding everything back. For starters, there's just a major lack of modern know-how and the tools to even teach it. Then, you've got the trainers themselves. They haven't been kept up to date, so old information just keeps getting passed on. On top of that, there's no single professional training system that meets, international standards. And, holding all of this down, a lack of budget to do any of it right. Which, brings us to the big question, right? When a system is struggling on so many different levels, where do you even start to fix it? Well, the solution being proposed isn't about just patching a few holes. We're talking about a foundational 3-step plan to build a completely new structure for the traffic police. And the plan is actually pretty straightforward. First, you stop treating traffic policing like just another job, and you make it a specialized career. Second, you train officers to be genuine experts, and importantly, you pay them for that expertise. And third, you invest in the trainers themselves. You develop the developers to make sure the knowledge is always fresh. So what does a specialized career path actually mean? Well, think of it kind of like a branch of the military, right? You wouldn't ask an army soldier to suddenly go fly a fighter jet. The argument here is that traffic management is its own unique, complex skill, and it needs its own dedicated school and its own path for career growth. But, just creating a new career path, that's not going to be enough on its own. You have to give officers a real reason to want to walk down that path, and that's where incentives become absolutely crucial. And this plan gets really specific about how to motivate people. It proposes a solid, concrete incentive, an extra 3,000 baht a month for every level of specialization an officer achieves. This is huge because it makes expertise something you can feel. It's not just a certificate on a wall, it's a real financial boost that shows their skill is valued. This would basically create a clear ladder for them to climb. An officer could start as a specialist, work their way up to being an expert, and eventually become a senior consultant. And with each step up, their pay goes up, and so do their responsibilities. It's a system built to reward people for getting better at their job. And get this, we're not talking about years and years of training to get there. The idea is to have specialized courses that run for about 3 months. It's an intense, super focused program designed to quickly build a new generation of certified experts inside the police force. And that's the real magic here. It's a 2-for-1 benefit. This isn't just about creating a police force with better skills. By rewarding that expertise and giving officers a clear way to advance, you directly tackle that crisis of low morale that's hurting the force right now. Okay, so let's pull back for a second. Why does any of this matter to you and me, to everyone who's not a police officer? What's the bigger picture? I mean, the difference between the old way and the new way, it couldn't be more night and day. The whole point is to move from a system that's outdated, where everyone's a generalist and morale is in the basement, to one that's modern, specialized, and where people are actually motivated to do a good job. It's a total shift in thinking. And at the end of the day, this is about way more than just fixing traffic jams. A more professional, more knowledgeable, and more motivated police force, that leads to better service, fairer enforcement, and safer roads for everybody. The real goal here is to rebuild that bridge of trust between us, the citizens, and the officers we see out on the streets every single day. And our source material really ends with this powerful plea. It's a reminder that behind the uniform, behind all these systemic problems, there are just people trying to do a really tough job. And letting their morale completely collapse doesn't help anyone.
And so that's the question we're left with. It's a huge challenge for sure. But this proposal makes the case that the journey to rebuilding trust on our streets actually begins inside a classroom. Can a new way of teaching really lead to a new way of policing? That's the ultimate hope, anyway. Thanks for watching The Explainer.